covering all the areas of interview questions as well. Not only interview questions, so reporting whatever I'm asking, whatever I'm talking about, those will be your test out questions whenever you are attending Workday examinations or certifications. These are all the questions that can be asked, will be asked actually. Okay. So let's focus on those concepts. Don't focus on questions, but the concept. Okay. So if you are aware of the concept, in any way, if you are being questioned, you should be able to answer that. So now we have known types of reports, standard report and custom report. Okay, and we know a code writer can copy standard to custom, and Expresso is just a task. Okay, just for viewing the data, you can use Expresso. All Expresso reports are nothing but tasks in Workday. Now coming to custom reports. Custom reports are nothing but which are created by customers. Okay, based on the requirements, right from the scratch, they'll start creating custom reports. Okay. And yeah, and custom report, you will be creating right from the scratch by choosing your data source, by choosing your own fields and all, you'll be creating. There are multiple types of custom reports, depends upon the reporting requirements. You'll be choosing that specific report type for creating a report, which meets the business expectations. Okay. Among that, the very first report type is simple report. Simple report. The name itself says that report is simple. So simple report, just a simple report, which will allow you to create a report without any kind of advanced filtering options. You'll not be able to add any related business objects. And when you're not adding any related business object, you'll be not able to add any subfilters. And you'll be not able to make any kind of advanced filtering options with just one business object. You'll be creating a simple report and no advanced filtering options. You'll be having a simple report. Okay, just a simple report. When you have straightforward data from one object requirements, you'll be creating a simple report. But most of the cases, you'll not be creating a simple report because all your requirements will be requiring whether to add multiple data objects. Okay, if it is worker, adding compensation related objects, adding any other related business object, which requires you to add related business objects to the report, and adding reporting prompts. And once you create a report, you'll be able to share the report to another user. All these are the advanced filtering options which you'll not have in a simple report. You'll just be creating a simple report and run a report. That is the only thing that you can do in simple report. Other than that, you'll not have any other option. Okay. So in most cases, you'll not create a simple report, but the feature of simple report is just simple. Okay. You'll not be having any kind of advanced filtering options, and you'll not be able to add related business objects. And the other type is advanced report. %90 of Workday reporting that you will be creating in the Workday are advanced reports. Advanced report are mostly used reports in Workday. Okay. The reason why these are mostly used is these are the reports that can be attached to integrations to integrate the data from one system to another system. And these are the reports which have all the advanced filtering options. And advanced reports can be shared from one user to another user. And advanced reports can hold related business objects, can be filtered on related business objects, and play a role with the data. So that is the reason why you will be mostly used, you will be using advanced reports in your reporting. You'll be able to share the report, you'll be able to create runtime prompts for the report, which will be flexible for business users to run a report. And if there is any kind of data interchange or interface requirements, the first thing is you'll be thinking to have a report to be attached to customer integration, and that integration will be carrying the data from one system to another system. So advanced report you'll be using mostly in Workday. Okay. After advanced report, I can say matrix report is one report that you'll be creating. After advanced, the next frequently used, most used report is matrix report. I can say 10%. So these two covers your complete reportings. Okay, matrix report and advanced report will be covering your most of the reporting areas and most of the report that you'll be creating. Okay. The purpose of matrix report is it will have same options what advanced report, but the thing is it cannot be attached to integration, and the data that sits in matrix report cannot be integrated from one system to another system. And mainly used the purpose of matrix report is when you have graphical presentation requirements. All your data needs to be populated in charts, pie charts, pivot tables, bars. When you have graphical view requirements of the data that you're creating, matrix report will be meeting your needs and can group the data and populate data in a chart format, in a bar format, in any way that you want it. I will be selecting the type of chart and you'll be creating a matrix. Okay. So matrix report is one other important report which will group the data. Advanced report cannot group the data. Let's say if you have a requirement that someone is asking you, can you get me the head count of all the countries that our office is located in? India, Australia, Mexico, US, UK, all these are the countries. Now, when you create your advanced report, it will be getting you all the countries and all the employees in that countries, but it cannot group the employees under specific country. But when you create a matrix report, you have an option to group the data based on the criteria that you can give. When I say group the data, let's say if in India there are 1,000 members. Okay. In UK there are 500. In US there are 10,000. In Mexico there are 500. So if you wanted to know the actual count from each country, your data has to be grouped by country, right? When it grouped by country, it will give you the actual count of employees under that country. So matrix report will group the data and gives you accurate information of the information that you are looking. And one more advantage and only option that we have in matrix report is when you run a report, you'll be getting an output, right? And from that output, you'll be able to drill into the data. Let's say you got count of India employees. Now count is 500 employees. Now if you wanted to know who are all those 500 members, how many employees of managers are there in this 500? How many employees of director are there in this 500? All these things you can drill down into the output of matrix report and validate the data or verify the data or view the data. So matrix report provides the option to drill down into the output and find out the values or additional information of the output. So this would be your question in certification, in any kind of test out that you are attending. What is a report that will allow you to drill down into the data from the output? No report other than matrix will allow you to drill into the data. Okay. So the purpose of matrix report is to return the data in a graphical format. Once you have a matrix report, the other report is composite report. After matrix report, I can say another 2% that you might be getting requirements on composite report. Okay, this is basically used for dashboards. And if you are aware of composite report, you should be able to handle composite report. Sorry, if you are aware of matrix report, you should be able to create composite report as well. And one more report we have, actually similar to matrix report, is trended report. These two are the reports, trended report and composite reports, which are similar to matrix report. Okay, composite report will be a little different, but trended report is exactly similar as how you create a matrix report. Okay, so you can group the data in trended report. You can get the data in a graphical format. Whatever matrix report is giving, trended report is giving. Then what is the difference between these two, trended and matrix? Okay. Trended report type gives you trended information. Okay, trended information, it will give you the trends of the data that is sitting in the system. If you wanted to know the trend of attrition, people who are if you wanted to know the terminations, trend of terminations happening from last 1 week, you should be able to get that information from trended report. If you wanted to know the trend of new hires, people who are joining from last 6 months, if you wanted to understand the trend of hiring information, you should be using trended report. If you wanted to know the trend of men employees, the trend of women employees, the trend of contractors, the trend of people who are going on leave, all these trends, if you wanted to understand, you should be creating a trended report. Okay, which will be exactly similar to the matrix report. Only the thing is, in matrix report, you can choose any data source, but in trended report, you'll be choosing only trended data source, trended workers, trended employees kind of data source. You'll be choosing in trended reports. And as I said, this is similar to matrix report. If you know the matrix report, how to handle, you should be creating trended report also. Transposed report. Transposed report is one of the report that will be populating data exactly opposite to the advanced report. Advanced report is populating data in rows and columns. Your transposed report will be populating data in columns and rows. Transposed report will be interchanging rows to columns and columns to rows. That is only the feature of transposed report. No other specific usage that we'll be having with transposed. And transposed report generally reverse. It will be a kind of output reversal report, I can say, for advanced report. And I never got a chance to create a transposed report in my entire experience. So I think you'll rarely get an option to create a transposed report, but the only difference is the steps are similar as to how you create advanced report. Only the thing is, output will be populating in opposite way of advanced report. Your columns will be as rows and rows will be as columns in transposed reports. The other report I can say is search report. Search report will allow you to search the data based on search criteria. If you remember, when we were discussing the business process concept, we created courses. Okay. And to find the course, we went to the search report, entered the course name, and clicked on the search button, and search that particular course used to populate. That is nothing but a search report. Okay. So search reports are nothing but which will allow you to search the data based on the search criteria. Okay. That is the only difference that you have, but the steps are as similar as how you create advanced report, matrix report, and all you'll be creating. And the format you should be knowing, since you have seen how the search report was populating when we are trying to find the courses. And after a composite report, this would be one of the report that you might be getting a chance to create. I can say another 2%. The last report that we have is inbox report. Inbox report is mostly used for financial reporting that populates data in a two-dimensional format, but mostly in HR, you will not be using inbox report. It's mostly used in financial reporting. Okay. So whatever I was referring, that mostly used reports, you will be getting a chance to create those reports, but it's better for you to understand what other report types will be used for. Okay. Good to understand those reports as well. Okay. If you know matrix report, you'll be able to create trended report. Exactly. And if you actually know the process, you should be able to handle creation of composite report as well. Okay. So we'll be focusing mostly on advanced report, multiple advanced report, and multiple matrix report. Simple report, as I said, right? Just a simple. Okay. So no specific usage you have. And when you create a simple report, and later when you think that this is not meeting your needs and you wanted to convert your simple report to advanced report. So you have that option to convert your existing simple report to advanced report. That option you only have on simple report. Only simple reports can be converted from simple to advanced. No other report can be converted its report type. Only simple report can be converted. Okay. These are the types of the report. Any questions so far? Any questions or anything that you are not clear?
Amit, what is composite report?
Composite report is basically used for dashboards. Okay. When you wanted to populate data in a dashboard, let's say if you've been asked to populate the data, you wanted to, let's say, leadership of the company wanted to know strength of headcount of men employees, headcount of women employees, headcount of contractors, headcount of active employees. All this information they wanted to populate in a dashboard rather than running the report. Okay, so you'll be creating a composite report. You can do also matrix report also. Okay, so you'll be creating any of a matrix report or composite report. But composite report will be having an option to hold another report, where matrix report will not have that option. Okay, so composite report is basically used to populate data in a dashboard in a kind of metric format. Okay, so probably when you work in Workday analytics area, so you will be mostly using composite reports. Okay, dashboards, composite reports, all these things. When your role is specifically on analytics, Workday analytics, you'll be getting a chance to work on dashboards and composite reports. Okay, so composite report is basically used for attaching your report to the dashboard and view the data from the dashboard. This is the only purpose of composite. We get into the tenant. Coming to the tenant. Okay, so when you start learning something on reporting, when you start creating reports, and it will take time for you to get some hands-on or some experience to handle report and understand reporting requirements. And while you, with this knowledge, when you enter into the organization and when reporting requirements comes to you, okay, so you'll be a little confused to understand the requirement and create reports. Let's say if someone reaches out to you and asks you, hey, I wanted to know all the open positions that are available in the system. Okay, how many open positions that are available, and also open job requisitions that are available in Workday. If someone reaches out to you and asks you, a recruiting team reaches out to you and asks you, what would be your approach? What would be the first step that you'll be doing? Based on the understanding that you got now, what will you be doing? You might not be getting a straightforward source or fields or business object that needs to be used for creating report. You know the concept, but probably while we are creating, you would be knowing the process of creation also. But the approach, what you need to take, what data source that you need to select, what fields that you need to identify, under which business object those fields are sitting, and what business object would be getting this field information. All these things you might be not aware. Till you get some experience, you'll be not understanding the process. So there are some delivered reports that provides this information. When I say delivered reports, standard reports that Workday has provided, you'll be using those standard reports. There is a report called data sources, which will provide you all the list of data sources that are available in Workday. Let's say if someone has a recruiting team has asked you to create reports on open positions or closed positions or filled positions, any of the thing. So recruiting team has asked you to create reports on these areas. So your approach should be coming to the standard report of data sources. Let's say if the requirement is on positions. You have a lot of data sources related to positions. Now what you wanted to have, you wanted to know all the open positions that are available in Workday. You have a data source that provides all this information of all open positions. Okay, when you take this data source, which will get you all the open positions in the system. You go for all positions, this will get you all the status of the report, all the status of positions. It will be closed, it will be open, it will be filled, it will be freezed. You can get all the status of positions in all positions. Okay. And let's say if you are being asked to get job requisitions, your search of the data source should be data sources, job requisition, so that you will be getting all the related data sources specific to job requisitions. You can use any of these data sources to report on job requisitions. Okay. And we have another report that provides list of fields in Workday. Report fields is a standard report which you can use that will provide list of fields in Workday. So if I am not selecting anything, it will be populating all the list of the fields. So you can actually come to the report and find out the field and the business object that is sitting in. You know the field, but you don't know under which business object the field is sitting. They're looking for all the fields, so I don't want to waste time. Let's say management level is a field. Okay. So you have multiple management levels, okay, fields in Workday. So now you can select few of the management levels. And you wanted to know which business object that management level field is sitting in. And so that you can actually create a report or create a calculated field based on that information. The report fields will provide you list of fields with their business object, with their related business object as well. Okay. You can also know what is the field type, whether it is single instance, multi-instance or not. Single instance is nothing but which will populate in a single row. Multi-instance field type is nothing but which will be populating multiple values in a single row. Okay. Single instance will populate one row, and multiple instance will populate all the values in one row. Example, let's say you're enrolled into multiple benefit plans. You're enrolled into healthcare plan, medical plan, insurance plan, and accidental plan. Now, when I'm reporting on you to populate all the plans that you're enrolled, you're taking multi-instance field. All the plans that you're enrolled into will be populating in a single column. But if you're taking in a single instance, all the plans that will be populating in a single row. Accidental plan will be populating in a single row. Health insurance will be populating in a single row. Medical will be populating in a single row. Insurance will be populating in a single row. But when you take multi-instance, all these plans will be populated one single row. There is a difference between single instance and multi-instance. Okay, which you will be mostly using in your calculated fields, and any kind of complex reporting, you'll be using these fields. You'll be mostly getting single instance and multi-instance fields in your regular reporting as well. So better to know the definition of single instance and multi-instance. Okay. So report fields, you're good, right? Report fields is a standard report that will be populating all the fields that are available in Workday. Okay, so management levels, we have selected only management level. We got 22 fields of management level, and we are knowing in what are all the business objects that field is sitting in. Okay. And one last report we have is standard report, which you can take as a kind of quick reference while you are learning reporting, is business object details, which will provide you the business object and the field sitting in the business object, a related business object, and the sources that will be under that business object. Let's say worker is the business object. Okay. If I'm taking worker business object, I can get all the information that is under worker business object. Since worker is the mostly used business subject to create reports in Workday, it will be consisting of huge amount of data, and that's the reason why it is taking little time to get all the fields that are sitting in worker business object. These three standard reports are also going to be questions. Okay, so what is the report that will be populating all other information, related business object information, field level information, data source related information? What is the report that will be populating all this information? Your answer should be business object details report. Okay, you see, I have taken worker business object. I'm able to get all the fields that are sitting in worker business. I see 14,670 fields that are sitting in a worker business object. and you will be able to see all the related business object for worker, and you will be able to see data sources under worker business object. All the information you are getting. So this would definitely be one of your technical questions when you're attending test outs or certifications. And just remember the 3 standard reports and the purpose of those 3 standard reports. Any questions so far? Any questions or anything not clear? These 3 reports will definitely help you while you are learning, while you are experiencing on reporting requirements, and will be a kind of quick reference for you to understand the data sources, to understand the business objects, to understand the fields. When you are creating a calculated fields, you must be knowing the field business object. And obviously, this report fields will help you to identify the business object of that field through which you can create a calculated field. Okay. Clear? Any questions so far? Anything not clear or anything that you wanted to check? Okay. So to identify all Workday standard reports in Workday, you have all Workday standard reports. So Workday standard reports is another standard reports that will provide you a list of all the standard reports that are available in Workday. Okay. I won't select any specific category. I'll be clicking on OK. So I'll be getting all the list of standard reports available in Workday. Okay. And their type, whether it is report writer type or express row type, you'll be getting. Okay. So these are all around 4,816 standard reports Workday has given, and each of the report type you can find here. Okay, so report writer and express flow, and you know that report writer type of reports can be copied. Express flow report cannot be copied. Okay, this is an important for you to understand. And you see, all the express flow rate type reports are just the tasks. Okay, let's say this is an express flow report, which is nothing but a task. Okay, nothing but a task. Okay, you'll be able to. If you have any kind of prompting needs, you can actually click and view this information. View academic requirement is a kind of task, and it is a express flow reports. So just take straightforward kind of point for express flow reports. All express flow reports are tasks in Workday, and you'll be able to access this task because based on the security that is granted to you. And report writer, you should be able to copy these reports to custom report. So a task, copy standard report to custom report. Okay. Through which you can copy your standard report to custom report. As I said, right, you will not find any express flow report, but you will find report writer report. Let's say fine. Let's take it a useful thing. Okay. So you can see related to address, I have multiple report writers and expresso reports. Okay. If I wanted to actually copy any of the report here, let's take country summary. Okay. Which will provide you summary of all the countries. Now I wanted to copy this report. Okay. Since it is a report writer type, I should be getting this report in standard reports. Okay. I should be getting this report in standard report to copy. But if I try to access express code, let's say view country. This is the express code report. Let's try. I'll be getting this to copy. I'll be not getting view country because this is a express flow report type which you cannot copy. Only report writer type you can copy. That's the reason why I'm getting an option to select this report to copy. Okay. And the moment I click, here another version of report will be created, which is nothing but a custom report. Okay. And even after you copy this one to custom report, the actual version, which is standard report, will still be available. But you'll be getting another version of custom report with the same information where you can edit and add the field that you wanted to have, add the filters that you wanted to have. And by default, when you actually convert standard report to custom report, it will be converting to advanced. Okay. And if there are any search report delivered reports are there, when you copy those reports, those will be copied to custom report with report type as search report. These are the only types that you can be copied. One is advanced report, one is search report. When your standard delivered search report that you are copying, it will become search report type of custom report, where you can add multiple search criteria, multiple filters and all you can add. But when you're actually trying to copy normal standard report, that will obviously convert to advanced report. Okay. The moment you click on OK, you'll be getting into report definition page. And the business object, you're seeing this one. And the data source is standard. Okay, this is not indexed one. Since it is a standard, you're not seeing any built-in prompts. If you wanted to filter on the standard data source report, you need to come to the filter and add a filter criteria. And since you have copied country summary delivered report to custom report, you can add multiple fields here. Okay. Country, I wanted to know. So that this will be available. I should be able to get all the country code information. Okay. If I wanted to add any additional fields, I can add and use this according to my requirements. I can add filters, I can add prompts, I can do anything with this report after I copy this from standard to custom report. Okay. So I'll cover the options that we have, and probably tomorrow when we connect, we'll start creating reports. Okay. Before that, you need to know options it has. Okay. Columns, which is nothing but the fields that it will be storing for advanced report. Since we are in advanced report type, let me cover the options because you'll be mostly working on advanced report. Let me cover the options that we have on advanced report. Columns, where you'll be adding the fields from the business object. If you wanted to add any other object other than primary business object, which would be your related business object, you can add all these are related business. Now, bank formats is becoming related business object of country. Okay, you can add any other business object. All this would be your related business objects. Okay. You can add n number of related business objects in your advanced report. Sort. If you wanted to sort data based on ascending, descending, or alphabetical order, you can actually play around with sort option. And when you wanted to filter the data that is sitting in primary business object, you'll be able to use filter. And when you wanted to filter the data that is sitting in a related business object, you'll be using subfilter. Subfilter is used to filter the data from a related business object, and filter is used to filter the data from primary business object. There is only difference. Okay. You will be asked what is the difference between filter and subfilter. Your answer should be filter will allow to filter the data on primary business object, and subfilter will be allowing to filter the data on related business object. Your answer should be that. And prompts, which will provide you runtime prompts that will give flexible for business users to run the report. And output of the report, you will be getting these options where you can select output type, whether if you wanted to go with chart, table, or not. But for advanced report, even if you select chart, it will not be accurate. So in all the cases of creating advanced report, we'll go with table only. Only for matrix report, we'll go with chart. Okay. And you have an option to make your report as a worklet. Okay. So if you enable this as a worklet, you'll be able to. You have an option to view the data in the dashboard. If you wanted to view the data in the dashboard, first you need to have your advanced report or any report to be enabled as worklet. And once you enable it as a worklet, you can see all these are the options populated from worklets. Okay. Example, take this one. This is one of the custom report, supplier staffing tasks and reports. This report is enabled as a worklet, and that worklet is attached to the home dashboard. Okay. Once you enable this as a worklet, you'll be seeing where you wanted to populate this one. You'll be populating by default home dashboard and my dashboard. Okay. The moment you actually click on OK, your report will be enabled as a worklet. You can go to these dashboards and find out the data. As how you are seeing like this, you should be able to find out this. This is about output and share. Okay. The moment you create a report, you will be becoming the owner of the report. Says Adam Sandler, okay, with whom I've logged in. Okay, he has copied this report and he is becoming the owner of this report now. Now, in order to, well, let's say for a week, he'll be going out of the office and he's not sharing this report. He just kept this report as this. No one can access this report because he has not shared this report. Until unless he shared this report with these two options, no one can access these reports. So do not share report definition is something which you don't, if you don't want to share this to multiple users, you'll be selecting do not share. And similarly, users groups also. Okay. So this is something on basics of advanced reporting. What are the options that are available? And probably when we create tomorrow, when we connect and create reports, we'll be knowing each and every option, feature of advanced report and other reports also. We'll be creating a lot of reports. So even when we get into calculated fields, we'll be creating reports because calculated fields are used in reports. So we'll be creating a lot of reports with multiple use cases. So just try to get familiar with the understanding that we are getting on reporting concept. Okay.